There's the stack of books James hopes to go through, and here's the beans have actually gotten pretty tall along the wall, but anyway, and there's James's victory garden growing. You can see, yes, it's wonderful. And you can see quite a few tomatoes there that are almost ready. So, and there's a lot of tomatoes to make dinners with, and this is a taco salad. And normally you'd put a regular sort of taco chip with that, but I've found that Magic Masala Doritos work out really, really well for a taco salad. So I'm going to talk about Escape from New York. And James's smoothie is the same as yesterday. It's, one with the Caribbean avocado and stuff in it. So, and you can see the mammoth sunflower in the background. And it really doesn't have that big of a head. I guess I could walk over there so that you could see just how big of a head it has. Because it's tough to tell when, perspective, right?
It's actually huge. It's like it's as big as a frisbee, isn't it?
But here I am with these sunflowers, and now you can see it's very tall, but the head is probably not any bigger than my head. What do you think, James?
It's hard for me to think about that. It actually isn't, but it's about as big as a frisbee. It's a bit frazzled right now. I'm not sure why. Maybe it could use some water, but maybe it's the petals are running out and it's going to go to seed. Right?
Yeah, well, I hope it gets a chance to, because the prediction has changed, and it was going to be yesterday. They said it was going down to 6 above tonight or tomorrow morning, however you want to look at it. And now it says 2, and 2 and clear. Well, that's
if it
quite
goes
a gamble.
Down 4 more degrees,
so
that'll be 2 below.
We're not going to cover the garden because James doesn't want to break all the tops, and plus we don't really trust Environment Canada.
Yeah, it's probably going to get down to 5
We used to trust them, but when COVID happened, I think the people who actually knew how to interpret the weather data, I think they retired, and some other people came on, and they don't know what they're doing. So
they're as bad as the CBC News.
Anyway.
Well, not quite that bad.
Yeah. So, I'm going to read my poem, My Chosen Recipe. I sit here with 3 pounds of loot that shine like gold and ruby gems. My harvested tomato fruit just plucked from over 6-foot stems. This fruit's the start of something great. So many pounds of fruit to come. They're special, so I hesitate. I'll choose a recipe for some. One that their ancestors debuted before I strained and saved their seeds. My garden's proof of gratitude. I give each plant the care it needs, and each rewards me every day. And so, the recipe I choose for these tomatoes is my way to show respect, not simply use. This memory of mindfulness reminds me of the fruit I've known as well as this fruit, but I guess I'm mindful of how I've now grown, as they've become a part of me. This symbiotic cycle we partake in keeps our energy united in life's recipe. And I don't know.
It's amazing to hear some lyrics that are intelligent and actually stick to the rhythm.
I don't think I'm going to use your heart tomato on here because
there's so many.
Well, there are a lot on there, but I don't really want to use that knife to cut in and seed it. I'll wait until I have a sharper knife, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
But yeah.
I just got listening to and writing down, which was a real drag. A lot of Cat Stevens lyrics. Actually, it wasn't so many, but boy, did it seem like a lot.
I've seen many red tomatoes on the plants, and I think I probably will.
I probably will.
Pick some of them. It's because there's some golden and some red Golden ruby gems just right here with me.
They're looking pretty.
And I should pick them.
Oh man! But you hardly got any sleep last night.
Yep. So, anyway, I wrote this poem on August 10th, 2025, and this was when our tomatoes had really just started fruiting. This was that was when I had a daily harvest of 3 pounds of tomatoes, and now the daily harvest is like 8. So there are so many tomatoes yet to come, yet to ripen up. There's thousands and thousands of green tomatoes. So I'm normally not so. I don't like taking risks with the tomato plants, but there are so many here to cover. It will be so much work, and I will break a lot of stems if I do so.
Well, they're sitting so high up above the wire.
So what James wants to do, and I agree with him, is he wants to just keep track of the weather at night. So we're not going to sleep very much tonight because we're going to keep track of the weather. And then if it's looking like it's getting too close, then he's going to grab me in the morning and we'll be out here with flashlights trying to cover things up.
Yeah.
And we will break things, but it's just
we'll break things
either way. So anyway, so what we're hoping is that we won't have to. It'll just work out and it'll be fine, and tomatoes will keep growing and producing and all that, because boy, it sure is wonderful being back here with them. It's such a wonderful victory garden. It's better than I could have imagined, honestly.
It's amazing, really.
It's a great garden. So, I guess I'll talk about Escape from New York. I gave it half a star.
The blurb on the back says it's something like of a classic.
Yeah,
I know better because I saw it back in the day. Oh, they've got that.
Yeah, they have 2 discs in here.
What?
Yeah, I did not watch the special features disc. Why? Watching the movie was tough enough. So they have a little postcard kind of thing in here, and a comic book. Snake Plissken Chronicles.
The comic book looks reasonably well done.
It does.
A lot better than most of the comics nowadays.
Yeah. So I guess I should say that the comic book does look well done. And
I've seen better, of course, but this doesn't seem to be.
And I don't know why these ones are like on thin see-through paper. I don't know why. But I don't know. They put a lot of work into the comic book, so really the comic book is worth the half a star, and the video is nothing. Because yeah, the comic book is good. If you are interested in
There you
Snake,
go.
that's good. But yeah, besides that though, Kurt Russell, he looked good. He always looked good. And
Even with the eye patch.
yeah, you know, it's funny, I didn't notice it. Really?
Oh,
I wasn't paying that close attention to the movie. I was seeding, like, this time of year when I'm watching movies, I'm seeding tomatoes for food. So, and for saving the tomato seeds. But yeah, I still have, it's been an interesting year for tomatoes. They've grown really well, but they've had a very short fruiting season actually so far. But I'm hoping it extends a long time into fall. Yeah, it's been a very different tomato year than I've ever had. Like a very different corn year, a very different nasturtium year. Like it's just a different gardening year. I was looking at nasturtiums in my peat bells that haven't even flowered. They've flowered in James's, but yeah, mine
different climate.
They're not doing well.
Microclimate.
And both of our nasturtiums got attacked by weevils, so they're all like shotgun holes in the leaves, which I don't know, it doesn't look the greatest, but they're still flowering.
Mm.
And
Weevils got to survive too.
I know, and they're such cute little guys. So, I mean, you don't get as attractive nasturtiums, but you get to see weevils, and they're so cute. So, I don't know, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Excuse me.
I guess a lot of people would want to control the weevils, but really, I don't know. It's not a good year for nasturtiums anyway, so
I like eating nasturtiums, but
yeah.
so long as they stay away from the tomatoes.
So what do you think about Magic Masala with as a taco salad?
It's good.
Yeah, I know, eh? I'm glad we
It's a little
discovered
hot,
this.
but what the heck?
We'll just eat more of the salad part with it.
That really doesn't cut it that much, but the
smoothie
smoothie does.
does, yeah.
It's got some dairy product in there, doesn't it?
No,
It's good.
it doesn't, in spite of the
milk?
fact that it's in the...
Well, were you saying almond milk?
It has almond milk.
Well,
And it has avocado. That's what's making that one thick. But yeah. All right. Well, I don't really know what to say about Escape from New York. It's probably better if you review it because you saw it when you were young and
not really foolish.
you went to the theater to see it.
Mm-hmm. When was this put up?
I don't know. It's very hard to, it's impossible to read the writing. Oh, 1981.
I thought I saw it around 82.
Yeah.
So it was, ordinarily I wouldn't have seen it. Pauline was kind of surprised when I said I'd seen it. But I have a friend.
And I said, so you would have went to the theater to see this one? And he
That's
was
mine.
like, yes. But I had a sci-fi friend and this and that, whatever.
I still do. He's a sci-fi writer, and I'm talking about books, not just on spec and stuff like that. Multiple books, at least 2.
Oh, good for him.
3. Yeah, very good.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few friends I've had, or acquaintances at university, that actually turned out to be a success. But,
All right.
What I was going to say was, good sense of humor this guy has. I can't remember if we laughed terribly much at this. He's the kind of guy that he's the only person you want to watch Star Trek with, because you can tell he likes this stuff, but he also realizes it's really campy. Yeah. And so he'll be cracking jokes about this stuff. It's way better than the original. The best time I think I ever had at a movie was in Toronto with my brother and with my sci-fi friend who was living down in Toronto back then, and he's still there now in the general area. Well, I think he actually technically lives in Toronto, Etobicoke. Anyway, it was a Conan the Barbarian movie, maybe the second one.
Oh my gosh.
Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, I don't like making jokes in a movie. And I wasn't, but my friend started cracking it. And my brother was coming up with some good jokes too. And then I started cracking the jokes. And then I'm sure there were some people who were really getting off in the movie and all that sort of stuff that just but then everyone, it was these guys from Lethbridge and area that kind of loosened up the Toronto audience. And then it seemed like the whole crowd was cracking jokes. It was, I wish it had been filmed. It was so liberating. To get this crappy Hollywood movie, especially Schwarzenegger. If we'd actually released that, public release, I don't think Schwarzenegger would have got elected as the governor of Canada. Too bad.
Well, anyway, I'm going to go harvest some tomatoes, and you have about 15 minutes to...
15 minutes?
Yeah, about 15 minutes. Talk about whatever you want, whether it's Escape from New York, which is such a ridiculous idea for a movie anyway. I mean, New York's such valuable real estate, they wouldn't let just decide, oh, well, that's going to be where criminals live. Anyway.
Parts of Manhattan are that way. Harlem is in Manhattan, the northern end of Manhattan. But there are, I think it's a pretty small island. It used to be 2 million people lived there. Might be rough at the same
I'm
amount.
just going to pick you up for a minute so that I can go this way.
So you've seen what happens to dumpier areas like in Calgary. Gentrification was happening in the area that you were living in Calgary. It used to be a dump, right?
Yeah, but it was still a dump. It was just
Of course, but
a
it's
more
probably less of a
expensive
dump now.
to live in. No, it's probably still a dump, just as expensive to live in. It smells like human excrement.
There?
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
It's such a bad place. I don't know why anyone would
North
pay
of the
money to
river.
live there.
Yeah. If people get in their high rise, you can kind of get above it. Anyway, what don't I want to talk about? That's the trouble. To actually deal with reality nowadays, you end up having to talk about stuff you don't want to talk about. Some people might think I like politics. I hate politics, folks. You can ignore it. You know, like ignorance is bliss. Or innocence is bliss. Until reality comes and hits you upside the head. You're lucky if it doesn't take your head off. And there are lots of people around indulging their innocence. When you're over 25, technically it should be 18. Innocence is no longer, innocence is ignorant. Ignorance, other I, 4-letter or 3-syllable word. I'm going to repeat that. Get over 25. It should really be 18, because that's when you get to vote. Innocence is no longer innocence, it's ignorance.
Well, it should be 25 because that's when your prefrontal cortex is fully developed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's when you should be able to vote.
When people are
You
voting,
shouldn't be able to vote until you're 25.
well, when people are voting, they better get on the
You
stick.
should be going to school.
Well, that's just the way it is. Anyway, been talking about how the United States was absolutely crazy, Canada too, letting in Italians with, it just seemed no holds barred. When I was working, I had to work with a guy from Italy, Trieste. Now his name, they call him Jarabica, it'd be Jarabica or something like that. Probably Slovenian, really. That's one side of the family. And this is 85 when I started to find out what he was like. No skills. Apparently couldn't read. Presumably couldn't read Italian. Couldn't read English. Had no driver's license. Was working as a garbage guy. They went from 2 garbage units, trucks, to 1-man garbage trucks, and so he had no license. So had to find a place for him. So they put him doing janitorial. And he's the kind of guy who just sat around all day in the men's washroom upstairs at the city hall smoking. I don't know if you ever, some guy once said to me, what does he do? A management guy. I said, I don't know. I'm not going to blow the whistle on some person. Anyway, Bozo, during one coffee break, he said, who was the smartest, this is about 85, who was the smartest guy 50 years ago? Okay, George Bernard Shaw. I've since revised that opinion. But Bertrand Russell, I think, was my first guess. No. So this guy came from Italy, and he figured it was Adolf Hitler. And then second, he graced us with his second choice, too. That was Benito Mussolini. Yeah, brilliant. How'd that guy, he had no skills, no talent, nothing to offer the country. And he's Nazi/fascist. How did he get into the country? But they're worse than him. Now, he actually threatened to kill me one time at work. I didn't raise that issue with management. I should have. It's cause for I'm doing something like that. It's cause for instant fire. But I'm way too patient with people. So you folks out there who think that I've got opinions that just you find execrable, I'm way too patient with you stupid chimps. I'm way too patient. I've even put up with a guy who threatened me with murder. Way too patient. And it's with you folks both on the right and the left wing, all you Donald Trump lovers, all you Bernie Sanders lovers, absolutely useless. I don't know why I'm so patient with you chimps. I should be just cussing up a blue streak talking about you guys and about the people you're fan fellas and gals for. And so I was mentioning the other day when I was reviewing this for re-reviewing. It's re-reviewing. I finished it twice. I'm almost through it 3 times. I'm about halfway through it a 3rd time. Yeah. And I was saying, well, I have another copy of it, and I said, I think I've gone through it twice, but maybe it's only once. I try not to overestimate things. What is it? So I was saying for sure I've been through it once. Maybe I haven't been through it at all. Maybe I make things up, folks, eh? Maybe oh no. Finished 12th of July, 2017. Refinished 25th of August, 2023. There we go. So when I said I'd gone through it twice, I was telling the truth, as I so often do. You know, like I oftentimes, am a little bit like a title for a George Bernard Shaw play. Too true to be good. No, that's not too good to be true. Too true to be good. Many people won't like what I've got to say. And they'll think I'm not good. But I'm too true to be good. Anyway. Yeah, I've actually gone through portions of this. I believe. No, it's just going through it twice. Oh no, the very start of it 3 times. But anyway, it comes highly recommended, and actually, if you can't get it at the library, it's actually recommended you buy it. Okay. But if you buy it, don't sling it on your coffee table and let it sit there and don't be trying to impress people with the mere fact that you own it. I want you to own it between your ears, okay? You understand? Between your ears. There's stuff here that actually should be memorized. So there are flunkies that there are 16, I believe counted, flunkies that Jack Ruby was in contact with over the phone. In the half year or so leading up to John F. Kennedy's assassination. So Barney Baker, Joseph Campisi, Frank Cairaci. Now these are all mafia members or very close associates of the mafia. So Frank Chavez, Joseph Francis Civello. They probably mispronounce it Civello in the United States. Joseph Glazer, or Glazer, Alexander Gruber, Paul Roland Jones, Russell D. Matthews, Louis J. McWillie, described as a gambler and a murderer. How many murderers have you been in contact with over the phone? Murray W. Dusty Miller. Lenny Patrick, associate of the Chicago branch of the Mafia. I believe he was actually, his police record included 28 arrests on charges including murder. There's another murderer. Understand they generally don't get convicted because anyone who wants to testify against them, well, that's about the last thing they want to do because they actually don't get a chance to get killed. Nofio J. Cora of New Orleans. ex-convict with extensive past history in heroin traffic. Fun guy. Johnny Rosselli, prominent mafia figure, active in Las Vegas, Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure he was involved in at least contracting filming. And he actually ended up, poor Johnny Rosselli, got what he deserved, but not from people who should be handing out justice. He ended up, although he generally did his dirty business in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, he ended up in an oil drum in, I believe it's Miami, Biscayne Bay, Florida's Biscayne Bay. Johnny Rosselli's body was in August 1976 erupted, so he survived John F. Kennedy by 13 years. A little less than. Rosselli's body was found floating in an oil drum in Florida's Biscayne Bay shortly after testifying in secret session for the Senate Intelligence Committee. That's his body, not his person. And I guess it had been cut up so it could fit into the oil drum. Fun times. Looks like a mafia hit, wouldn't you say? And that, I think, would be Santo or Santos Traficantes territory. He was headed out of Tampa. Traficante was. Erwin S. Weiner. They probably said it Wiener, but it's spelled with Weiner in German. And David Yaris. I counted 16 of them. I don't know if you were keeping track. That's a lot of scumbugs to be, up close and relatively personal with. Just in a half year leading up to Kennedy's assassination. And I wonder what they were talking about on the phone. I don't know. I don't think they were talking about, the latest release by the Kingsmen or something like that. Louie. Might have been a little too early for it. I'm not sure. I think that was the biggest hit of 1963. But yeah, I don't think that's what they're yipping and yapping about. Then you've got in here, this is another thing. I want you folks to memorize this, okay? These are folks that it wasn't that healthy for them to have dealt with Lee Harvey Oswald or Jack Ruby after Kennedy's assassination. So, of course, Lee Harvey Oswald ended up getting whacked, right? So he was hanging with Jack Ruby, I guess. Anyway, not after this, well, maybe after the assassination, hard to say. Anyway, let's see, 3 journalists. Two of them were hanging with Jack Ruby right after the assassination. So one was called Hunter. Let's see if I can remember. Jim Hunter, maybe? Bill Hunter. Got that one wrong. He's hunting for bills. Anyway, and is it Jim Kota? But they probably say Kotha or something like that. Let's see if I get that one right. Jim Kotha, I got that one right. Dorothy Kilgallen, this is a little bit later, about 64. She was going around saying she was going to bust the case wide open. 65, got that one wrong. Dorothy Kilgallen. Kill is probably an Irish name. Kill in Irish actually means church. Age 52, died in her New York home. The cause of death reported 8 days later as ingestion. Boy, her body must have smelled. As ingestion of barbiturates and alcohol. 2 days later, a close friend, Mrs. Earl Smith, died. The autopsy conclusion, cause of death. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just like I guess people.